Welcome to episode 5 of Graham's Journey. And this episode is going to be about the effects of breaking your carnivore diet, which I did on the day after my birthday. So this episode's going to be about that. And I've also been trying to learn how to do fancy transitions. So instead of just a sudden switch, should be a nice transition from one segment to another. And I'm also put I've got to stop saying I'm going to put a little clip of an interaction between me and my cat Tinkerbell at the end. That's your reward for watching my boring episode all the way to the end. And whether you like it or not, please either like or dislike and subscribe to my video. It will really help spread it on the internet. Okay, thanks very much. So on with the show. Hi, it is now the 13th of August, and I just want to do a quick report on what happened to me the day after I did my birthday, the breaking of my diet on my birthday. I didn't actually really break my diet on my birthday, but the day after, on the 15th of July, I finally managed to have some of the treats that I wanted to have. So by the end of the day, during about midway through the day, I ate that curry that my Indian neighbour had given to me, which wasn't too bad. Made me sweat a lot because it was rather hot. And at the end of the day, I went up the road and I bought some fish and chips. At the end of the little group of shops where I live, there used to be a fish and chip shop there, but the fish and chips were not very good. The fish was extremely thin, so it was mostly just batter with a sort of a hint of a fish taste. If it was any thinner, you'd have been able to see right through it. Well, they went out of business and a new business has started up, so I thought I'd go up there and try them out. But unfortunately, it's not really a fish and chip shop. It's more of a gourmet burger shop. But they did have chips and they did have fish, so I just ordered the chips and the fish. But the chips are not the type of chips I really like. I like the normal, what we call chips in New Zealand, the quite fat chips, not the skinny little French fries like they have at McDonald's. It's proper chips. And I know that I met an American once and he said, "What are chips?" And I said, hot potato chips. And he said, "Oh no," he said, "Chips are what cows leave on a paddock." I said, "No, those aren't chips, they're chaps." He says, "No, that's what we have with our fish and chaps." So we have quite a different way of saying things here. So if you're from America and you're watching this, chips are not cow pats, okay? And we don't eat them. Anyway, I had some quite nice fish and some skinny chips. French fries, the Americans like to call them. So I had that, and I also had a beer. So I'm just going to pause for a second while I go and get the bottle of beer that I bought. I went next door to the gourmet burger shop, to the wholesaler, and I said I wanted some cheap beer just to have with my fish and chips. And he suggested this Chinese beer. I've never had Chinese beer before, and it's quite a big bottle. I would have preferred to have a couple of small bottles so I could stop drinking when I wanted to, but when you have one big bottle, you have to drink the whole bottle. And I picked the wrong time to do my video. The sun's shining in, so I've probably got strips across my face from the blinds. So anyway, I had the chips and fish and a beer, and I had a terrible night after that, which I'll go into more detail in a minute. I'll just pause for now. Well, it's now the 27th of August, and I'm finally getting around to talking about what happened to me on the 15th of August. Well, after I had that beer and fish and chips that I was talking about in my last video, and after having that vegetarian curry that the Indian man gave me, well, I had a terrible night. I couldn't sleep. I had to get up every hour or so because I needed to go to the toilet for number twos, and very explosive and uncomfortable. So, not a good experience, which kind of puts you off breaking the carnivore diet, because when I stick to the carnivore diet, I have wonderful bowel movements. So I hope you're not eating the dinner at the moment. But the difference is unbelievable. And not only that, I only have to go maybe once, possibly twice a day. Whereas when I'm eating the normal vegetable food, I need to go to the toilet 3 or 4 times in a day, and I never feel like I'm finished. I always want to go back again. So I guess that's called irritable bowel syndrome, which I never knew that I had, because I thought everybody had to go to the toilet 3 or 4 times a day, maybe more, sometimes up to 6 times if I'm having a bad day. So the difference between eating carnivore style and eating vegetable style is tremendous. But the other problem was that because I couldn't sleep most of the night, when I did finally get to sleep, I slept in till 9-10 o'clock. Whereas when I'm on the carnivore diet, I have no trouble at all getting to sleep. And the only trouble with the carnivore diet is I don't seem to need as much sleep. So I wake up at maybe 4 o'clock in the morning and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And when I wake up, I feel good. Whereas the way I always used to feel my whole life, I would feel terrible in the morning. I'd wake up, but I would never want to get out of bed because I've always felt so bad. But now, if I stick to the carnivore diet, when I wake up in the morning, which is often very, very early, like 4 o'clock, I'm wide awake and quite happy to get up even that early. But of course I do go to bed a lot earlier because I seem to get naturally tired around 9 o'clock at night. Now, I have seen on some other YouTube videos that the older you get, the more your sleeping period moves to an earlier time. When you're a teenager, you want to stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then sleep till midday the next day. But apparently as you get older, you do start to want to go to bed earlier and get up earlier. So I'm not sure whether my change in sleeping times is to do with my age or whether it's to do with the carnivore, but I did seem to dramatically change when I did start eating just meat and no vegetables. I did start sleeping better, getting up earlier, and not having any serious bowel problems. The other thing that dramatically changed when I went carnivore was I was brushing my teeth one day, and I just happened to notice that when I spat out the toothpaste, there was no blood on the toothpaste. And my whole life I've always had blood coming out when I spit out the toothpaste. And I've always been told, oh, that's a sign that you're lacking in vitamin C. So I would always try and eat plenty of oranges and kiwi fruit and things like broccoli, which are high in vitamin C. And or they would say, oh, you need to brush your teeth more often and more regularly so that your gums toughen up. Well, that's wrong. But after my first attempt at being a carnivore, after a couple of weeks, I suddenly noticed that there was no blood coming out after cleaning my teeth. Not only that, I noticed that I've always had a lot of plaque forming on my teeth, and I was going every 6 months to have my teeth deep plaqued. Is that the right word? Would have them cleaned up by the dental hygienist, who was charging me about $140 a time at the time. So I suddenly discovered that a lot of the plaque had disappeared off my teeth. My teeth aren't so good at the moment, the plaque's come back. But when I first went on carnivore, not only did the plaque disappear, but the plaque that was still on my teeth, I could scrape off with my fingernail, which was absolutely incredible. So the plaque has not got anything to do with vitamin C. Well, actually it has, because apparently the plaque that forms on your teeth is the oxalates that are in your vegetables. The vegetables such as spinach, silver beet, even broccoli has oxalates in it. And the oxalates tend to combine with calcium and form a very hard plaque on your teeth. But when I stopped eating vegetables, that plaque came off really easy with just my fingernail, and proving that it's got nothing to do with vitamin C, although vitamin C does combine with oxalates, so vitamin C can have an effect. So that's just a brief example of the effects of giving up or breaking my carnivore diet. It does have a very bad effect on me, and although the first night I had really bad bowel problems, those bowel problems seem to drag on for about a week. It takes me a week or so just to recover from breaking the carnivore diet, because I have lots of bowel problems, and then it slowly comes right. And when I stick to the diet, it's wonderful, and I only have to go maybe once a day in the morning, and then I feel emptied out for the rest of the day, and I don't have to rush off to the toilet every time I have something to eat. So that's a quick summary of the effects of breaking the carnivore diet. So I hope that helps anyone who's thinking about the carnivore diet. Please do a search on the YouTube videos for videos about the carnivore diet. Dr. Ken Berry is wonderful. Dr. Anthony Shaffey is a brain surgeon, and he fully supports the carnivore diet. Very interesting man. And there's lots of others as well. So I encourage you to have a look. But one warning is, for some people, it's not a good idea to rush into being a carnivore, because when you go totally carnivore, suddenly your body starts to dump oxalates. So if you've been eating a lot of vegetables, your body will be full of toxic oxalates, and when your body decides to dump those oxalates, you can have some very bad side effects. One of those side effects is gout, and there are two types of gout. There's the ordinary gout caused by too much uric acid, and there's also what they call pseudo gout, which is caused by your body dumping oxalates, which has the same effect as uric acid, because it forms crystals in your joints and is extremely painful. So I'm thinking of doing another video just about gout, what causes it, what the cure is, how to cope with it, etc., etc. That would probably be a whole lengthy video all on its own. So if you're interested in that, look forward to my next episode. Thanks very much. Bye for now. Oh, and just one other thing. One of my subscriber friends asked me privately if I was losing weight on the carnivore diet. And I would have preferred that she put a comment in the YouTube comments, because that makes the YouTube people think that people are actually interested in my videos, and they might spread it a bit more to other people. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention about whether I'm losing weight or not. And when I had my first heart failure, I was about 110 kilos. And for the sake of the Americans and British, I might actually put the conversion rates on the bottom of the screen, if you're lucky. Now, I did manage after my heart failure to get my weight down to about 110, no, from 110 down to 100 kilos with normal type of dieting and exercising. But to get below 100, I would often get myself down to 95 kilos and then, of course, zoom back up again. And I tried all sorts of different diets. I tried fasting and all sorts of things. And that's all part of the story that will be in the Graham's Journey, when I finally actually get to do Graham's Journey from the beginning, which I still intend to do, but so far too many other things keep happening and I keep doing these videos in between. And of course I don't do videos very often. As you can see, it's taking me from the 15th of July to the 27th of August just to do what I've done so far. And so I would struggle with my weight between about 95 and 100. And then I decided to start doing the carnivore diet a couple of years ago. And I didn't really lose weight. I would lose a little bit, but not a lot. And the weight just very, very slowly decreased, which was good. It was positive, but extremely slow. So I wasn't too impressed with the carnivore diet, but I felt so much better, as I mentioned before, with my sleep and my bowel problems and my teeth. Everything improved on the carnivore diet, except I didn't really lose weight. But then another problem is that I'm still drinking coffee, and I always have cream in my coffee. Why do you have cream, you might say? Well, cream is quite high in fat, and the carnivore diet, you're encouraged to have more fat and more protein, and of course to avoid sugar like the plague. And milk actually has more sugar in it than cream because of the lactose. So cream, as far as avoiding sugar, cream is better than milk. And the worst thing of all is the low fat milk. So what they do is they take the fat out of the milk, and then of course they have to put more non-fat milk into the bottle to make it up to the 1 litre or 2 litres, whatever it is that you normally get. So you're actually getting more lactose or sugar, and it's the sugar that turns into fat. Fat doesn't turn into fat, sugar turns into fat, especially if you have an insulin resistance problem, which quite obviously I have, and so do many other people who have a struggle with their weight. So I discovered that when I did stop drinking coffee with cream, I'm not that keen on black coffee, so I find that very difficult to do. And I'm finding it very difficult to give up coffee altogether. So, but I am trying. So that might be why I'm not losing weight very quickly. But yesterday, a good friend of mine's sister saw me and said, "Oh, Graham, your tummy's getting a lot smaller." I'm not going to show you my tummy just at the moment. But one day I will show you a before and after. I'll show you when I was 110 kilos, and I'll show you what I am now. So just recently, for some strange reason, I don't know why, my weight has been going down quite quickly. In fact, I got down below 90 kilograms. I was ecstatic to get below 90 kilograms. And then it kept on going down. And the last time, not the last time, but the time before I weighed myself, I was 87.6. And just this last time that I weighed myself, the numbers reversed and I'm now 86.7. So I would be absolutely ecstatic if I could get down to 80 kilos. I think my ideal weight would be about 75, because I'm not a big tall person. I'm only 5'6", or what's that, 165 centimeters. So I just thought I'd add that the carnivore diet has helped me lose weight, but yes, there's a big but. When you break the diet and start eating carbs again, whether that's vegetables or ice cream, the weight goes back on very quickly. So if you fall off the wagon, the weight does come back on pretty quickly. But if I do break my diet, I now know that I can just zip back onto being carnivore and try and stick to it again, because it really does seem to be working. Alright, that's all I'll say for now, and I might add a little video of Tinkerbell at the end, and I'm going to try and do a video about gout, because I had a real battle with gout a number of times, and I've done a lot of research and I've learned a lot about gout. So if you're having a problem with gout, watch my next video and hopefully it'll be of some help. But of course, remember, I'm not a doctor or any kind of specialist for that matter, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, because salt is actually quite good for you. Although I've always been told that it's bad for you, it's another thing. All the lies that we're told, and turns out to be completely incorrect. Alright, that's all for now. I'll stop there. Bye. Oh, I've got to learn to say, what is it? Live long and prosper. I was going to say something else, but that'll do for this time. Okay, bye. I've decided to give you all my viewers a little treat at the end of Tinkerbell. But before I show you that little clip, just want to point out that Tinkerbell and I have been having a bit of a battle of wills and certain issues that we've had to deal with. I think that I'm the boss, but Tinkerbell thinks that she's the boss and that I'm just her human slave. So I'll let you watch this little clip and you can judge for yourselves who's the boss. Okay, so on with the video clip of Tinkerbell. Hello Tinker, what are you doing out there? Do you want to come in? Tinker? Tinkerbell? Do you want to come in? Well, you know you've got your own little cat flap at the back door. You don't have to come and give me the evil eye through the window so that I'll come and open the door. No, I'm not opening the door, Tinker. Oh, so what's this? You want me to open the door? But you've got your own cat flap at the back. Oh, okay, just this once, because you're being videoed, okay? I'll unlock the door. There she is. Straight to the kitchen, I guess. Yeah. It's the same food there as before, which you won't eat. Okay? That's hearty beef. Ideal for cats. Okay? You're not going to eat that. What's the matter? Well, I'll let you in the front door just for that. Okay? Alright. You've been a very naughty puss today. You scratched my curtains. You won't eat your food. And you made me get up and open the door when I've got a sore back. Okay? Alright. That's all for now. I'm going to pause you. Yes. You don't need to do any more on this video. Okay? So bye. That was a cat pause. Get it? Cat pause. My daughter would call that a sick dad joke. Okay? Okay, you can be the judge of who is the boss. But sometime after that video was taken, Tinkerbell eventually went and ate the hearty beef that I gave her, and I'll finish off with a photo of her sleeping. Okay, bye for now.